Good morning. It's the Genius Cav here. We are doing a special edition of Legit Fantasy Basketball. It's the 11th of July. We're in the middle of the NBA Finals. We don't want to wait till our normal slot on Monday night since there was a game on Friday and we have another game tonight. So we don't want to have you guys go two games without hearing anything from us, especially because Game 2 was a great one. So we want to talk about that. We're also going to break down Game 3. We're going to try to stay focused like we did on the last show, but I do have a little bit of bad news. Brother Ray is unable to join the show today. Apparently, when his aides at the assisted living facility told him we were doing a basketball show, he thought it was Monday. So they've been spending all morning trying to convince him that it is still Sunday, that he will get the SpaghettiOs, the Alphabet SpaghettiOs at 4 p.m. for his dinner like he normally does on a Sunday, but it's been a bit of a struggle. So, Brother Ray, thoughts and prayers to you. We hope to see you on Monday night. Second bit of bad news. Coach TJ is not able to join the show. Apparently, he's doing a press conference because he accepted the coaching role of the Brother Ray and Brother Jesse team in the Lepre family Court in a Cage 2x4 basketball smackdown. So I was a little bit surprised to hear that, but the coach will be coaching Brother Ray and Jesse. That said, I do have good news. King Michael will be joining us. He's on a hot streak with with his basketball picks. But King, what do you think of that news about TJ?
First of all, good morning, Genius. Let me say this. Today is the luckiest day of the freaking year. It's 7/11/21. 7/11/21. And speaking about lucky, you have the coach, with his vast coaching experience. And then you have Brother Ray with 8 decades of watching basketball. But who's the one that keeps coming up with the winner? Show after show. I keep telling them they go against me. I tell them why they're going to lose, and it happens. Kev, I've been on and dead on. But let me also say this. If the Lepres do ever have a basketball game, there is no way that all four of those people could beat me and my son. Just 2-on-4. There's no way they could beat us for two reasons, Genius. One, Brother Jesse and Brother Ray come up to here. And two, Junior's, there's no one that could even guard him. No one can even guard the kid right now. He'd make them look stupid, and he would do it and have fun. So if you want to put money on that, too, Genius, put it on me and Junior to win.
All right, King. I was a little shocked with the news about TJ, but I do agree you guys have the height advantage. Are you going to be playing a drop zone? The fans want to know, are you going to be playing a Coach Bud drop zone?
We're going to be playing what's called a 1-1 zone, meaning I'm going to stand in the middle, and if anybody comes down there, I'm going to make sure they don't score. And then Mike's going to stand out near the foul line, Genius, and just chase everybody around and steal the ball because they can't dribble.
All right. I can't argue with that.
Italians who can't dribble, can't shoot, can't even really take layups. He said finger roll, and you heard it.
Oh, that was amazing.
If I see a kid finger roll in practice when I coach, I yell at them. It's go strong, hand up high, hit the backboard. What are you doing? Don't take those.
All right. Well, look, I like the discipline. I like the strategy. We'll have to wait until Brother Ray's back to rebut it. But anyway, before we get into real basketball, the NBA Game 2, Game 3, we'd be remiss if we didn't hit the fight last night. I didn't watch the undercard. I did tune in around midnight to catch McGregor Fournier, and I just kind of like to get your thoughts because you've been watching this stuff a lot longer than I have.
All right, so here was the issue, right? So McGregor can't get back to 145. He's reached an age where his man size, his body girth. If you ever look at a young kid or a teenager, 20-year-old, they're sideways. They're like this. Then eventually you're gonna get this is a guy. Whether it's shaped like that with gut or it's just straight, still you get thicker. You naturally get thicker. He can't get down to 145 anymore. At 155, he's starting to get into a weight class where, believe it or not, 10 pounds might make a difference. And I think it did make a difference because last night, that other kid, Poirier, was lumping him up. I mean, before that leg break, it's not like McGregor started the match, hit him with a couple of his shots, right? And what should have scared him was that the kid kept coming at him and then started the counter. and that kid controlled that whole fight up until the leg break. So he was getting beat up, right?
Yeah. Like I said, like I'm kind of I'm a novice to it, not kind of a novice, but I did like seeing McGregor doing the leg kicks in the beginning. It looked like he was trying to go back to a sort of a different style. But once he went on, he looked like he wanted to get on the ground, and then it looked like he just took a beating. Like he was getting elbowed in the head repeatedly. He's bleeding from his mouth. He looked dazed a couple of times. So I mean, the fact that he broke his ankle like that is, I think, a mixed blessing, because he gets to say it's a doctor stoppage, but in reality, if it went on, he was in deep trouble, I thought.
So here's a fun fact for everybody that's listening or comes back and listens to this. Have you ever seen the TV show? Well, you'd have to YouTube it. Bully Beatdown on MTV. Have you ever YouTubed it?
No.
All right. So it's hosted by this guy, Mad Dog. He was a professional MMA guy. Forget his name right now. I'm not going to look it up. But what they would do is kids would write in, like teenagers would write in, or 20-year-olds would write in about bullies they had, right? And then they would show like how the person bullied them. Like they do those clips, like The Real World. They show the kids back at home, all that stuff. So they got you vested in it. And then at the end, they matched the bully up with an MMA fighter of his weight class. And they had 3 rounds, right, Kev? So the first round was strictly you had to make them submit, no punches. That show is so great because there's all these like goombas like this coming out, and the MMA guys like flipping them and then putting their arm in a bar. They make them tap out by the arm, by the leg. They choke them out, right? And then they keep losing money, and it goes to the kids get bullied. So the bully starts with like $5,000, and it goes up the other way. The last round, though, they get to hit them. Now, what you see in that show the most are leg kicks. The MMA guys will just kick the bully guys in the thighs, right? They'll just keep kicking them in the thighs. By the third one, the majority of those big Goomba guys that are up top heavy are like, they're limping. It's like they never thought that they could get kicked in the leg and they wouldn't be able to walk. So it's a great show to watch to see the very basics, because they can't do something super crazy. They'll kill these kids.
I was going to say, how do they? There's got to be release forms everywhere.
Yeah.
I would have never done that at any age, fighting an MMA guy.
And when they get knocked down, people are yelling at them to get up. So these kids are getting up all dazed.
Yep.
One kid got kicked right in the stomach, and it was the greatest reaction I've ever seen, because it would have been the reaction I had. He got kicked in the stomach really hard, and he went down like this. He looked at the referee. He was like, "No way, I'm done." Like no one expects to get kicked in the stomach.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the face, you're thinking, but ooh, you know what I mean? So that's a good show, Kev. Start with that. YouTube that later. Bully Beatdown.
Yeah, I got to. It's a quick funny story. Luckily, like, I would never get anywhere near an MMA guy, but I was traveling for work in Kansas City, and we're at this big hotel, like their biggest like downtown conference center, Marriott, whatever it was. And my boss comes to me, and he goes, we're going to the bar, and he goes, "Don't say anything to anyone." And I don't, me, I don't get into bar fights. I don't insult people. And I'm like, "Why are you warning me? Like, you know me, I don't do that kind of stuff." He's like, "There's an MMA event here, and all the guys are staying at this hotel." He's like, "Anybody says anything to you, you take it and you just walk away." And I was just, I got it. Luckily, nothing even close to that happened. But can you imagine? You don't know, and somebody runs their mouth, and you engage, and the next thing you know, your teeth in the back of your throat, and your stomach is coming out of your esophagus. It was just like, it was funny though.
So what I've learned, Kev, in my experience with my nose being so crooked, the scariest people are the ones that they drop back. Anybody that ever drops back, you know what I mean? Like it's the dumb drunks that just come up and try to swing, and they can't swing, right? They always swing. Everybody swings like this. Like,
yeah, it's all
always around.
Yeah.
Always around, right? And that just lets you just stay in the middle. And then what my advice is, always put an elbow right up the middle, right in the nose. Boom! Split them open, right? But they punch on the outside. When you see a guy get pushed and then he drops back like this, fuck that. I'd be like, "No, I'm all set." No, I'm being serious, because you know that they're ready to do something. And I'm like, no, we're cool. Just some advice.
All right. Okay, so we will get to advice on game 3, but let's talk about game 2 a little bit.
Oh, one second. One fight I wanted to touch really quick. The Greg Hardy one, the pre-fight, the former football player from the Cowboys and Panthers. I keep forgetting where
he started in Carolina, then he went to Dallas.
All right. So he was looking good going into that fight. He was the favorite, right? the kid that he was fighting was like fat. Like you gotta see him. Like he was big, but like no muscle tone. He was actually grabbing his stomach at one point. And the thing was, this kid was just the wrong style for Greg Hardy. Like I was saying, like we talked about me and you now a couple times, even on the road. Like styles that they make the fight. So Greg Hardy is a big dude that he doesn't know wrestling extensively. Kev, he played football. He's not gonna come and do like he's gonna want to whack you, right? That's what he does. Yeah. Well, this kid is like a pug. That's what he's gonna do. And those are the toughest ones for like big bombers because they come in bombing, and this kid's just standing there taking it, bombing back at you. Like you don't want that. And Hardy hit him with a right, and I dazed the kid, and I thought, all right, it's over. And I'm like, I guess I was wrong. This kid hit him with a left, and that was it. You saw Hardy just be like, big guys. When big guys get bullied, they completely crumble, and that's what happened.
And like I said, I'm not a novice. I don't know the rules. Like I know boxing, obviously you get a 10 count. When Hardy went down, does he get counted out? Does the guy come on top of him and start punching him until he submits?
The ref stopped it. When the ref stops it, you get knocked completely out. Right? That's how it stops. That's how it goes. But he was the kid when he was done jumped up on the fence, poured a beer in a sneaker, drank it in a sneaker, threw the sneaker in the crowd, and then jumped back in the ring. That's not the kid for Hardy. You want to find like a wrestler or somebody that does all these moves that he can just pound on and beat quick. You don't want this pug, Kev. Like, I don't know how they don't see that. They see him as walkovers, but they're not walkovers because the style is wrong.
And I don't want to fight anybody that drinks a beer out of a sneaker because
no, I wouldn't either. No, there's hygiene involved.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go over to basketball now. But yeah, that was awesome. Like I said, I think we're talking a little bit before the show. I think I got to start following a little bit closer. I think we should probably watch a couple together and just kind of talk to the styles.
We might have a budding mixed martial arts boxing show right here, Kev.
Oh, cool.
Think about it. If we start watching it, we can cover it.
Yeah, exactly.
I can get Ronnie TKO, aka Ronnie Pache. He'll come on. He'd love to do it.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. All right. Yeah. So let's talk about that. But all right. So jumping on to basketball. So we're going to try to keep this quick. We're going to do initially a half-hour show. We actually did the first 12 minutes on MMA. So maybe we'll go a little bit over. But game 2, Friday night, Milwaukee 108, Phoenix 118. Now, you hear the score. It looked like Phoenix kind of handled it okay. In my opinion, I think Milwaukee did a really good job in that game. And I think they can use this as momentum. A couple things to note. Phoenix won by 10. They went 20 of 40 from three-point range. And we had talked on the show that Phoenix is one of the teams that doesn't play that analytics basketball. They don't live and die by the three. 20 for 40, you're living and dying by the three. If they had hit any kind of normal pace there, and I'm not one of these people that says if this happened and that happened, the score would have won, because you can knock off, say they went 15 to 20, that's 15 points gone. But anyway, like it's just indicative that the three-pointer, the variance there is really, really high, and they hit theirs. But so that's one thing. And Milwaukee was only 9 of 31. So on the other side, Milwaukee's had a massive drop, and they're hitting three-pointers in the playoffs, and no one knows why, but it's really, really killing them. So that was that. So the 23 pointers, Milwaukee out-rebounded them. Giannis had that monster game, 42, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks, a steal. He was +3 for his minutes. But of the 42, he missed 7 free throws. You don't expect, he doesn't have to go 18 for 18, but if he hit 4 more and Phoenix missed 2 threes, there you go. It's a really, really tight game. But Giannis also shot 5 threes. So he went 15 of 22, 1 for 5 from 3. So he was 14 of 17 from non-3-point range. Like, I don't know why they can't just shake this guy and just do not shoot any more threes. But anyways, monster game. So that was interesting. The other thing I noticed, and I'm saying a lot, so King, you have to pick out what you want to delve into, but it looked like they kind of solved the Ayton problem a little bit. He looked like he was getting the ball in worse positions. He looked like he was a little too far out. He only had like 10 points. I love seeing Holiday pick up Chris Paul from the backcourt all the way forward. It was forcing Phoenix into their offense later. I thought that was awesome. And then Chris Middleton, the guy's a disaster. 5 of 16, 1 of 6 from 3, -15. But if a couple things went a different way, I think Milwaukee would have had a chance. And I think they still have a chance for this series. That's all my observations. What did you think of that game?
All right. So a couple things. Here's where I stand. Milwaukee did an incredible job last game, I thought. I really think they did. Giannis, whatever you pronounce it, had a monster game. But they still couldn't stay with Phoenix. Like, 1 of 5 from 3-point land is frustration. That's him thinking no one else on this team can score. That's frustration, him shooting 5 threes. Like if he shot 2, that's just him shooting 3s. Shot 5, he's trying to get points, right?
Yeah.
They scored, they averaged what, the Bucks in the regular season? Like 120 something points a game? And now in the finals they're averaging 106?
Yeah, I think it was up 120, but it was up high, yeah.
So like what is the deal with that? Like in other words, you look at the Suns, right? And I go Chris Paul, star, and I go Booker, star. And then I look at the Bucks and I just go Giannis. And he had a monster game, Kev, but they really Holiday and Middleton, and there's a bunch of guys that should be stepping up, and none of them are. Like none of them are showing up, which is weird because that's what makes me think today you take Milwaukee. I think they come home with some hype. They know that they can play with Phoenix. Like they know what they can do to score on Phoenix. They're gonna have to play him 48 minutes, legitimately. When he comes off the floor, they lose grip. He can't come off the floor. You realize it, right? You got to tell this kid you're not coming off the floor today. So that's how that goes.
It's crazy. And we didn't even talk about him with the hyperextended knee, and he kind of got back up to speed in game 1, game 2. He played 40 minutes, and they were +3. The insane thing is he was out of the game for 8 minutes, and they were -13 in the 8 minutes he was out, and they lost by 10. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I figured it was like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so that therefore you have to tell this kid, and I'm emphasizing kid, who should be able to. He's got to play 48 minutes, and I hate to say this, but you got to be able to play 48 minutes as a professional athlete. When called upon, you have to be able to do it. And if you're on the floor, you guys are winning. So I see an upset today, Kev. I see he's not going to miss the free throws at home like he did away.
He wasn't even that bad. It was 11 for 18. But what you just said about the 48 minutes, right? Durant did that, right? He played back-to-back games to try to save their season, 48-minute games. This is game 3 coming up. There's max 5 games total left to play in the season. If you can't go 48 here, what are you saving it for? What is the load management for, right?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. But
you lose today, you're done. I mean, you go down 3-0, it's all say goodbye. It's a. I hate when they say this. I hate when they say it on TV. It's a must-win. It's a must-win. Do it. But it is. You go down 3-0. You're gonna eventually go back to Phoenix, and they're gonna beat you.
Yeah, exactly. What did you think of the Bucks picking up Paul almost full court? I thought it was a good move.
Yeah. See, this is my point. This is what scares me. I thought the Bucks had a great game plan, but they still got beat. Like that's what worries me. Like they had a great idea. Like they slowed things down. They made things look less pretty, but Booker's a beast.
Booker's a beast.
Like that on your team is,
But I mean that 3-point shooting though, you figure Phoenix, they can't keep that up. 20 for 40 is insanity. Whenever the Bucks got rolling, Phoenix hits a 3, and then I think that led to the frustration what you're talking about. So Giannis thinks he has to match. Yep. It's like a boxer. He's trying to one punch them, and he can't match. Who's he gonna? And then the lead gets a little bigger. But that's why I agree with you. Phoenix is actually underdog today. Phoenix is getting 4.5. And I think I'm probably going to go Milwaukee laying that. Like, it is a do or die. The other thing is Phoenix got a couple more injuries. Saric is out for the season. He's a backup big man, so that leaves them a little less depth there. The only backup center they have now is Frank Kaminsky. And then Terry Craig, who actually had a decent game 1. He's day to day, so I don't think he's playing today. So Phoenix loses a little bit of depth. And then the other thing, we always talk about role players at home, and that's what I wanted to ask Coach about. Unfortunately, he's not on, obviously. But I think the Milwaukee role players step up a little, the Phoenix ones fade a little, and I think Milwaukee pulls it out.
See, and you know what? Prior to this game, like last game, I was of the mindset they were just gonna get swept. Like that's literally what I was starting to think. But then I watched this game, and I reanalyzed it. See that I think that's another problem with like sports shows. People will hang on to their initial prediction the whole time, and they're not watching how things are changing game by game. So I'm changing my stance in the sense that I think Milwaukee wins today. Just because of the way that they played so good last game, Genius. You're right. Yeah. You hit those free throws. Maybe the 3-point shooting is just a slight bit less for Phoenix. And now you're in a game that's close. And And if you need a basket, I think Giannis is probably the best at getting a basket. If he has to get a basket on anybody, it's him and Booker. And I think with his size, if he needs to get 2 points, that's your guy.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I wanted to do the show today, because I think we all had sort of we're saying similar things on the Thursday show, and I think we all kind of thought Phoenix was a better team, and Phoenix this, Phoenix that.
Well,
Then you watch what? Not
TJ was wrong last show. Yeah. The show before that, it was Brother Ray. Just so you know, I think you've been on with. I think you've rolled with me both times, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and but like that's why I wanted to get on today, because last game changes things, and you saw it, and I saw it, and I was going to be kind of curious if the other guys saw it. So we'll talk to them tomorrow night. But I really think Milwaukee, like if they keep doing what they're doing, I think they have a good chance to win this game, take a little momentum, win another one, then we're 2-2, and then I would love it. But they the thing that worries me though is well, first let me give you a positive. Giannis was hitting those turnarounds, those fadeaways. Looked freaking awesome. Like you think of him as this power guy. All he can do is dunk, and like those. He looks really good with those shots. He keeps that up. I think they're in good shape. The part that worries me is at the end of the game, you foul him, he hits 1 or 2, and you're in trouble. Whereas Booker, he's going to take some crazy shot. You can't foul him. He's going to make the free throw. So I think Milwaukee still has a problem there. They need to be up fairly big to close out a game. I think.
See, here's the thing. Here's what troubles me. So I think Milwaukee wins today. But as far as the series, I don't think they win it. It's still Phoenix, because all we keep talking about is what Milwaukee has to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like no one's saying what Phoenix has to do, because they just got to be Phoenix right now. And when it's like that, it doesn't seem fair to me. So it seems like Milwaukee's got to do all the figuring out, right? And Phoenix has got to keep doing what they've been doing.
No, that's a really good point. It's a very good way to look at it. Yeah, we're always trying to solve the problem of what Milwaukee has to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really good way to look at it. Like, and then the other part of that is most people. I would just say most people, at least us on the show, we think Monty Williams is a better coach than Bud. So I don't have the faith that Milwaukee will completely figure it out. It almost seems like Milwaukee has to like just impose sheer physical will on Phoenix to win. Like almost like I hear bully ball. I hear that term. And Phoenix is, like you said, it has to be Phoenix. It's a really good way to look at it.
Someone's going to come off the bench for Milwaukee and play dog minutes. You gotta find somebody to come in and just physically lump up the other guy. That's it. He's not going to score, but he's going to just wear this guy out. And I don't know if they have those guys. It seems like all their backup guys with Milwaukee are like older guys like that were once on the Sixers. You know what I mean? It just seems like. You know what I mean? It's like. So I don't know. I mean, can they beat them up? I don't. They can't catch them. You got to catch them to beat them up. So it's like it's tough. It is. It's a very bad match for Milwaukee, the Suns.
And the strange thing about it, we've had this conversation in just about every series about Milwaukee, and it's always frustration. And they need to do this, they need to do that. How can they catch him? How can they hold him? It's almost like okay. So when I was younger, one of my older brother's friends. And I was bigger than him, but he was quicker than me. I couldn't catch him. So he would literally hit me in the back of the head and then run. And a couple of times my older brother caught him, and basically it was like throwing food to a dog in a cage. He walked him over and said, "Here he is." And I beat the crap out of him. It's almost like Milwaukee needs somebody to catch Phoenix and hold them so they can beat them up. And that obviously that doesn't happen.
So here's another thing. Here's what happened. I'm coaching this AAU game, right? And one of my players, I won't say his first name, but I will say that he was Muslim, and it matters because of the time of year that it was, and he was very. So I go, that kid, their center just whacked our center twice. I said, go in there, and I used to tell this kid, don't smile, because when he would smile, he looked like the happiest kid you ever saw in your life. If he didn't smile, he had a mohawk. You didn't want to mess with him. I'm like, don't smile. Don't look happy. You got to scare this kid. I go in there. When he comes to lump you up, make sure he gets, a receipt, which is what they call it, a receipt. So I put him in. I see the center come down. It was this big, tall, like blonde kid, and he's heavy. And he went to go make his hit the center, like post up type thing. And my man went, and I heard from this kid, ugh. That's the noise the kid made. Ugh! And he pushed him back, right? Went down the court. They came down again. The kid tried it one more time. Again, you hear. Ugh! That was it. He wouldn't do it anymore. He would not go down there anymore and whack the other kid and just score easy. Because this kid, even though he wasn't as tall, made sure that when he tried, he got hit so hard, his wind got knocked out of him. And that's exact. And then he came out, and we just started playing better because we softened them up.
Yeah.
We showed that we weren't going to take shit, and we hand back, right? You got to have that guy in your team that's willing to go and whack somebody to be like, we're not going to let you just run all over us. Do you remember playing? Do you remember playing Birchwood with me? We played against a team, and the point guard's nickname was Caramel. That was his nickname because he was supposed to be smooth like caramel. That's what it was. I don't know if you remember this. It might have been freshman year, but I'm pretty sure it was Birchwood. I bridged him on a layup. Do you remember that?
I remember. It has to be the same. I don't think you've done that too many times, but I remember you bridged him on a layup.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
This kid was coming in. He kept coming in. He was scoring on us like all kinds of ways, making our team really look bad. So he came in on a layup, and I remember he was on me, so I just kind of leaned in, and his body kind of went like that over my back. And when I popped out, he went, and you heard the bones hit the wood, boom.
Yeah.
And then it was like pushing and shoving or whatever. But like that was my way of saying like you're not going to get to the basket easy.
Enough. Yeah.
I'm going to make it difficult. Someone's going to make it difficult. Because I hate when like a guy starts rubbing it in. You got to punch. Mike Tyson, greatest quote maybe of all time. Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It's so goddamn true. You think you know what you're going to do, and then pow, and you're like, oh.
Exactly. I love it. And that reminds me of Milwaukee a lot of the time because when they're in trouble, when they're down by 8 or something, they get away from their plan. They take quick shots, bad shots, the whole thing, and they have to like just stick with it. And that's what worries me about them. So you're right. Like I really like that sort of line of thinking that we're always looking for Milwaukee has to do this, Milwaukee has to do that, and if they do this a little better, and Phoenix misses some threes, they can do it. Yeah. So, but I am somehow after all that, I'm optimistic they win. I like Milwaukee tonight. Yeah, and I'm not sure about the over/under yet. It's 221.5, which is a little bit high. Both games would have blown through that already. Actually, no, the first one would have been slightly under, but that's a little bit high. I'm not sure if I'll touch that one. I might wait to see what happens in game. But I think, I think Milwaukee pulls this one off. And I think they have to.
You can't tease an over/under, huh?
Yeah, you can. It's like 4.5. You have to do a lot of sites that won't let you tease same game. So, like, if you want to tease,
you couldn't do the winner and the over/under.
Yeah, actually, some sites will though. It might be interesting to do because if it's 4.5, you could do instead of Milwaukee minus 4.5, Milwaukee even over/under. What would you do, over or under?
I want over. So I would.
So over like 217. That's not a bad bet. Maybe I'll try that.
That's a great bet.
Yeah, exactly.
So 217, and then they'd be favored by what, Milwaukee?
0. Milwaukee would be 0. Yeah, because
Oh.
you could if you tease both sides, if you can do same game teaser. Yeah, it's actually not a bad bet. I'm gonna see if one of them. I use like 2 or 3 books. I'll see if one of them will do it. But what do you? And then the last thing I want to ask, like, what do you like? Do you think Middleton or Holiday can get an offensive game going? Because they've done.
Yeah. That's the thing. TJ right now, what he would be telling us is that one of those guys has to have a game where he does what he's known to do, and that's score and volume. Like, just get you a bunch of points in one game. And if 2 of them go off, then think about it this way. If both Middleton and Holiday got hot, scored 20+, and Giannis does what he does, what's the game look like then?
Oh, yeah. It's great.
They're just underperforming. That's the problem. It's not like Phoenix is going to change. No, they just got to play better, Milwaukee. Then they started to play better last game, but weren't hitting shots. And like Coach said, the most important thing you can do as a basketball player is make a shot. You know what I mean? So great game plan, but if your guys aren't making shots, you're still losing. You still lose. So this game, you got to come out, play like you played last game, play harder, have that moment where somebody gets lumped up, and hit your friggin' shots. And I think you hit more shots at home. I think you hit more 3-pointers at home. I think you hit more free throws at home. So that's why I see this as a good bet today to go with Milwaukee, because I hope – or here's the thing that bothers me, though, Kev. Whenever they get down by 10, they start to look scared to me.
That's what I keep saying. They don't know.
They're waiting for it to all just fall off a cliff. They're not fighting back. They seem to be like pulling back. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, no, they're not 10 points.
Yep. That's what I was saying to you guys last time. It's like they'd be better off if they couldn't see the scoreboard and they just kept playing their game. and you know what I mean. Like, don't look up until the fourth quarter because they look scared. They take really bad shots. They throw up bad shots early in the shot clock. It just becomes really, really ugly very quickly.
1 for 5. He shoots 5 3-pointers. It's frustration. He's like, no one else can score. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, yeah. All right. So I think that covers everything. So I think we both agree we're going to go Phoenix. Sorry, we're going to go Milwaukee. And if we can tease it, we'll try to tease Milwaukee in the under. Sorry, Milwaukee in the over.
I still like the over even on 121 because if you're going with Milwaukee to win, they can't be at the 106 point area. They got to be close to that 118, 115 area. Yeah. So that's why I think, and I don't think Phoenix is going to score like in the low 100s. Yeah. I think it'll be like 115, 110. Just like a score I can see the game being. How about that?
I can see that. And then the other stuff I usually like to look at with a game like this is like Milwaukee at the half because it'll be like probably 2 points or something. Because if they're down at the half, they're going to be in serious trouble. So I'll usually do like a halftime bet, sometimes even a first quarter bet. But those are tough. There's like a lot of variance, and like Phoenix isn't going to just not show up. They're going to show up, and it'll probably be close. But yeah, okay. So we agree Milwaukee on the game. I'm going to say Milwaukee first half, and we're looking at the over. Any final thoughts on this one, or just get your popcorn ready and
so here's the thing. It's been a great series. It's been actually great playoffs, but I don't know if people are watching. Like, I'm really worried that people aren't watching what's going on, like, especially this finals. Because if you're not like a super basketball fan, like, are you really tuning in for the Bucks, Suns? Like, some people, I know, like, Celtic fans, true hardcore, those Patriot true hardcore fans, they just, when their team's out, they check out.
Well, on to the next floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know those guys.
Yeah.
They just check out. So I'm worried that this playoffs and just the way things have been, everybody checked out. I hope not, because they're missing really good basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball is really good right now. There's a lot of good players, a lot of good teams, different styles, and the playoffs have been fun. You know what I mean? And it's been. I don't want to say like it's been everything that we've even that I've said, but it's been common sense throughout the whole series, throughout the whole playoffs, the way teams have been playing. You know what I mean? Some teams, they had the stars this year, but they just weren't playing hard enough. Or they weren't playing right, like as a team. You know what I'm trying to say to you? And the teams beat them.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. One thing I'll say, the ratings are actually up over last year because I checked that, but they're down. They're down historically, of course. They're always, they've bin down historically for years and years. So, but like your commentary on who's watching is accurate. It's basically hardcore fans are the only ones watching. And the strange thing would be like if you're a casual basketball fan and you're like in and out. It took me a long time to get used to watching 2021 basketball, and now I get it and I like it and I see a lot of more of the subtleties that I didn't see before. Like how do you defend a pick and roll? How an offense is affected when you start guarding the point guard further out? Like all those different things. I've kind of learned a lot. But I think if you were a casual fan, it is sometimes a little bit hard to watch because you're like, why is there nobody in the center? Why is there nobody in the lane? Why, So I think that's probably a little bit something to do with it. That the game now is tougher for a casual fan to pick up the intricacies of.
Well, here's how it goes. Somebody says that the NBA right now is all a bunch of 6'10" guys that shoot threes. That's all they have to say, right? They just shoot threes. Not casual fan watches maybe for like 3 minutes, and all they see is threes being shot.
Yeah.
Right. So they write them off, and then word of mouth starts to spread, and then you'll actually talk to a non-sports fan and say, "Did you watch the basketball game last night?" And he'll say to you, "I don't watch the NBA nowadays. They just shoot threes." He's never seen it. He's just saying what he heard in the press and from other people. So it for the last like 3 or 4 years, it's just gotten to the point now where you go up to anybody and be like, "Did you watch the game last night?" And to make you think they don't know sports, they'll be like, "I don't watch the NBA anymore. It changed. They used to shoot threes."
Yeah.
I'm being dead honest.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
What people say all the time. You know what I mean? It's like,
you're right. It just snowballs. The narrative takes on kind of a life of its own. And you're totally right. And then, God forbid, you turn on the game and you see Brook Lopez shoot 2 threes in a row, and you're like, "Yep, see, I don't want to see that. Why isn't he doing this or doing that?" So yeah,
and new fans don't follow teams; they actually follow players. Like I know a guy because his son played with my son who was a LeBron fan and would buy whatever jersey and T-shirt LeBron went to, whatever team he went to. Like in other words, there's people out there that are just fans of actual athletes, which that's crazy. Like that's crazy. You got to be a fan of a team. It's like that's what you got to back a team, never a player. This isn't NASCAR, so it's weird how people think too nowadays. Like they just think about the big names. That's it.
I can't even. That doesn't compute to me at all. I can't even. I don't understand the rationale of that at all. So what do you watch? Like how do you? I don't know. I'm having a very hard time comprehending that. Like
I know, but it's like they're rooting for one guy. Like what is the point of that?
But it's a team sport, and the teams you have to play well with all of the players around you, and everyone has a role. Forget it. I can't.
Here's the thing. I just hear nowadays. Here's what I hear nowadays more of. I'll hear people say, I gotta go get now I gotta go get a Laker hat, or now I gotta because like I don't, and that's completely against everything that I was brought up believing sports were about. As a little kid, all I thought was you back your team, you stay with your team, and you ride it out when they're horrible. Like the Giants have been just putrid for years. It doesn't matter. You dig in and you stay with your team. Odell Beckham Jr. gets traded to the Browns. I don't go buy a Browns hat. It's just not happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I move on.
You kiss them goodbye. That's it.
You stay with your team. I mean, you miss guys sometimes, but you stay with your team. I don't know how, but that's how the NBA kind of got. Like people are following. I mean, look, they even put logos of companies now on their friggin' jerseys. Like
that's
it awful. Is like
that's just the beginning. The one little that's just to get you used to having one, and then they'll be like, okay, we added like a back shoulder one, so now we have this, and then we have the back shoulder, and in 10 years it'll be like professional soccer teams where it says like Emirates. Like, wait, who is the team Emirates? No, they're just the biggest sponsor. So I'm not looking forward to that. But the athletes have a lot to blame for this, though. Like the whole super team thing, and I want to go here, I want to go there. So
here's what I told my son. Right, this is what I always tell him. See, he wants to go. He wants to play ball or whatever, and I always tell him this, and he's done this since he started. I told him in today's basketball, if I was a player, I would change my number every year. So I would sell jerseys because that's what they're doing. And I would do it just like this. My first year, I would wear 1. My second year, I would wear 2. My third year, I would wear 3. I would just go all the way up. And if I had to miss a year, like I wore the next number because it was retired. But I would just chronologically go up. And then when people would be like, well, when did he wear number? No, I know everyone that number. Number 2. That's the second year, right? That would be the perfect media way to like track this guy's career.
Dude,
you agree with that?
Yeah, no, it's funny because that's the system, right? You got to capitalize on the system. That's what everybody else is doing. Why not?
People stop buying all 10 of your jerseys so they can have all 10 years.
Oh yeah. You get some guy that's like, look, like I'm in my man cave. I got all the leopards. I got 1 through 11 of the leopards. It'd be hilarious.
That would be good.
All right, so we got a good game coming up tonight. By the way, it's 8:00 tip, not a 9:00 tip. So once we finish Paranormal, I want to get right to the game. But the last thing I want to mention: Italy, England, Euro Cup final, 3:00 today. I know neither one of us are big football, soccer fans, but Italy's playing. Fortunately, the game is in England, so they're going to kind of have a home pitch advantage. But I did put a small wager on Italy just for pride. I couldn't name one player on either team.
What time is the game?
3:00.
It's on TV?
I think so. Yeah.
It has
Pretty
to
sure
be.
it is.
It has to be. I'm just joking because I never watched soccer ever.
Yeah.
But I tell you what.
Well, the sad thing is, I'm not sure. I think it is though, because I saw commercials for it on ABC during the finals.
I'll tell you what though, if the finals today for the Euro Cup are between England and Italy, then I would love to watch those greasy little Italians win. You know what I mean? Those wops, those guinea wops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because somehow the fact that my nationalities, like, I don't even know what to call it anymore. Is it what do we call it? That's what our nationality is? Like,
I guess so, yeah. Like the
bloodline comes from
ethnicity.
Ethnicity?
Yeah.
So I guess my ethnicity is completely Italian on both sides. All 4 sets of grandparents are from Italy around the same couple of years. So I feel somehow I have to root for them.
Yeah, exactly. Right? That's me too. Yeah. Yeah.
I have no attachment, but because I'm so Italian, And like I literally have a muffin downstairs. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm gonna probably eat some like pasta
Yeah.
today because it's Sunday.
Yep.
I feel like I got a root for these Italians, and I don't know any of these little guys.
Yeah, and the sad thing is you're going to be screaming at your TV set like you've been invested for 20 years, like fans in Rome and Naples and everything else. You're gonna get into it, and it's yeah, but you have to. That's why I bring it up. You know,
It's
Rhode
just
Island.
such a boring sport to watch.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like watching bike riding. You know, they do that bike riding shit. It's like I don't want to see people ride bikes.
No.
Like that's the dumbest. I'd rather see the Muppets ride the bikes than people because they're more entertaining. When Kermit was kind of going like this, and you're like, how are you making Muppets ride bikes?
because especially because they don't have legs, it makes it even harder.
No, they did. Kermit had legs. Miss Piggy.
Oh,
You remember the first movie where they're riding bikes on a date? It's like they actually had Miss Piggy and Kermit go by on bikes. I'm like, that's movie magic.
Yeah, but just in case you do watch it, do not expect a lot of scoring. Both of those teams are really good defensively, so it's probably going to be
under.
I think it's the 1.5. So it's probably gonna be like a 1-0 game. So hopefully at least
1-0.
nil. Exactly. I got pitch right. I said football, and I didn't say nil. Damn it!
Nil.
I was trying to be international.
See, you don't understand. You don't remember. And that's so crazy that we're talking about this because it was somewhere within my reach. I found the very first jersey of soccer for North Providence High because I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
I ended up going off with the soccer team. I made the soccer team. I didn't know a thing about soccer at all. Never once was I taught the rules. I was just told, get out there on defense. When the ball comes near you, just kick it back to our offense.
Yeah.
Because I'm a basketball player, I can run, I can do this stuff. I'm just kicking it back to the defense, right? Game 1, show up. He's like, all right, Leper, you're in right defense. And I literally said, what? I can't go in the game. What? He's like, no, you're starting. And I was like, no. This you don't want that. And he's like, no, go. Mr. Guarnieri, Bert's dad. So I'm like, all right. I go out there. But first thing I do is the ball goes out of bounds. They tell me to throw it in. I throw it like a basketball player. One hand, they blow the whistle. They blow the whistle. Apparently, you got to drag a leg with your hands over your head, going like this. I'm like, why? I was like, why? Really? Like it was. I'm like, is that a rule? Like this is how bad it was. So then, what happened was a kid elbowed me right on the hip bone, and it hurt so much that I was like limping. Now I'm a basketball player. I'm trying to limp to where I got to get. And the people are yelling, just lay down, just lay down. And I'm like, I don't want to lay down. I'm trying to get back in the game. And like, lay down. And then I'm laying down. I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever. I'm laying here waiting for someone to come over. For what?
Yeah. To get,
I ended up quitting. I never made it into the yearbook photo, but I have the jersey, the number 13.
Well,
isn't that crazy?
And you have minutes in the first ever North Providence High School soccer team. Soccer game. Yeah. That's insanity. Yeah.
On top of that, I also have the very first match win for the boys tennis team ever.
The doubles, right?
Year. Yeah. Doubles. We won that doubles match that I won was the first match that the tennis team had won all year. We lost 6-0 the first school we went to, then we lost 5-1. But that one was me and Alan Flores. And you know what? Rest in peace, Mr. Garzone, who passed away recently.
Oh.
He had a really hard time. It got really bad for Mr. Garzone. I actually stayed in touch with him. My brother Jesse stayed in touch with him. There's nobody better than Mr. Garzone. And occasionally he would like send me a picture of like where it said like first match win thing, like he had on a plaque. He saved it just to like, get me hyped. Because he knows that I always say, and this is funny, but like I played tennis so many years of my childhood, and I won the town championship 3 times and the doubles championship four times with Stu. Me and Stu won doubles all the time. Yeah. And then I went to the high school and I won the first match. And I always tell Garzone that I was the godfather of tennis in North Providence. Like, even though that wasn't my main sport in my mind, like I was always playing tennis and winning. And then I show up and I win that first match from him. I didn't even have a racket. He let me borrow his racket. That's how great Garzone was. I was like, I don't have a racket anymore. He's like, you take this one. Kev, I would just stand at the net. I would stand at the net and I would just let them hit the ball at me. And I just try to knock it down. Yeah, I'd rush the net as fast as I could and dare them to hit me. And I would always get my racket in front of it and it would go crazy ways. That was my whole strategy.
And I always thought Brother Jesse was a tennis.
He was he definitely got better than me. He kept
Yeah.
playing. You know what I mean? Like
I
when
lo-
you play in your teens and you get better, you get better. I stopped. You know me. I didn't even play
Yeah.
tennis like
I-
8
well,
years.
yeah. Well, have you ever seen the movie Rushmore?
No, but some of it, I had trouble with that movie. It's
Well, you
slow.
remind me of the kid. You remind me of the kid. Oh, I gotta play some soccer. Like pull down the warm-up pants, have the soccer pants on, run out. Oh wait, is it a tennis match? Sorry, I gotta leave. I gotta do a doubles match. It's freaking hilarious.
But even though it was, I tell you what, being grounded in basketball was by far the best sport to be grounded in. It may be able to run with the soccer players. You have no fear playing tennis if you play basketball down low back in the 90s. Like you get smashed. So rushing at a tennis ball with a racket's no difference. So it's weird. Like basketball back in the day, the way we played, I always tell my son this. Look, if you gathered up all your all-stars and I gathered up all the all-stars of my time and they went at each other, right? You guys would start off winning and eventually give in to us because we would not stop hitting you or bumping you on every possession. You probably have at least 3 or 4 technicals called because of swearing and flipping out and having like meltdowns because that's just how we played. Like,
it would turn violent, and not because we don't like each other, just because it would turn violent. It would have to. We'd eventually break them in half. They just leave. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Kev, look, Oliver North says, who wins today's game, Turkey versus Australia? Basketball. That's Australia that's going to win that game.
I would say Australia. I mean,
You know why? Because I've never heard of Turkey playing basketball. So, guy with a great name who happens to be the guy back in the Reagan days, Ollie North, I would go with Australia, and I appreciate all the question marks. Like you went above and beyond with the question marks. You could have put 1, we would have known it was a question. You could have put 2, we would have known that it was important. But by putting like 8, kid went all in.
Yeah, I think it kind of discredits the question a little bit. I think it implies he doesn't know the answer either.
Exactly. Or he's just he's fed up.
Yeah, but anyway.
Oh, wait. Oh. And then
I needed to know.
well, now you know. Go to Australia because I know Australia has a good team.
Actually, look, you're like 5-0, so this could extend the streak. Now we have to check the score. I don't even know what tournament this is or league. They can't be in the same league, right? How does Turkey? They're like on the other side of the
national teams. Yeah, they have that. The nationals would play each other.
Yeah. It's got to be some kind of tournament.
Yeah. So I mean, but
that's right. There is a national. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You got to go to Australia. The problem is that we refuse to look stuff up while we're talking live.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know the guy's name, I won't look it up. But most people they'll just go to it and be like, "Damn it, I won't do that. I just keep talking." Yep. Ignorance is bliss, Kev.
Especially when you're picking international basketball games.
Exactly.
Do we know who won the Wimbledon final? Did that go off yet? Because I know Jesse was saying bet the Italian there too. Did that already happen? Since you're a tennis guy.
Oh, wait a minute. Oliver North just said it's halftime. Yeah. Well, who's winning? It's 24-24.
Oh.
Is this a girls' game? Is this female? No, I'm being serious. If you're being serious and it's 24-24 at halftime, is this a female game? Because if it is, like, I gotta ask you why are you even bringing it up?
It's I'm looking it up. It's FIBA, I guess, which I guess is like FIFA but for basketball.
Yeah, but it's
24-24 at the half.
You sure it's men?
Yeah, it's men. The leading scorer for Australia is Jalen Galloway with 7 points. The leading scorer for Turkey is Samet Yüktürkoglu with 4 points.
Makes me wonder, how do you play defense in the World Cup? Do you get the punch? Are they wearing pads? How many minutes are in a half? Because you score.
20.
Look, why would you even watch the game? I don't mean to get mad here, Oliver, but listen to me, bud. Turn the game off. Turn it off. 24-24 at halftime? That's me and Kev just playing. We're out of shape. We can't breathe. I'd get 24 points. Come on. Who would
I
want to
don't-
watch that game? It can't be at halftime. It can't be.
It is
20.
halftime. Yeah, it's halftime.
How high is the rim? How big is the cylinder? Like, or what are the rules, Kevin? They got a different type of floor. How far back are the 3-point lines? Do they even have 3-pointers?
They have 3-point lines. Oh, they're shooting a lot of threes, and they're really not making them. I think Turkey hit 2, Australia hit 1. They've shot at least 15 each.
I cannot watch subpar.
I can't believe I'm looking at a shot clock, a shot chart for Australia versus Turkey.
I could never watch. I'm sorry. That's just basketball. That's like it's just inferior.
Wow. So Turkey is shooting 8 of 31, and Australia is shooting 8 of 35.
Well, that's why they're not in the NBA, Kev. That right there. You want to know why they didn't make it to the NBA? Because they can't. They scored 24 points and a half. This actually made me upset. Like,
Look at this.
why
8
did
of
Oliver
30.
have to bring this up? Because now I'm thinking about horrible basketball, and there's nothing worse than watching horrible basketball. There really isn't.
No, but I do agree. Australia, I think is the bet here.
It is, without a doubt. It has to be.
I mean, they're shooting 25%, whereas Turkey's only shooting 22%. But they don't stop shooting threes. Turkey's 1 for 13 from 3. Australia's 2 for 18 from 3.
You know what I suggest? Stop shooting threes.
If I watch this, I would be so angry watching this game.
Look, you're welcome for the topic, by the way. Yeah, but it's not a good topic. It's giving me agita. I got to eat. You know. Oh, he's going with Australia. See,
See?
of course you got Australia. Who would take Turkey in this match? But to win that bet, they're gonna have to score points. And with 24 points and a half, honestly, I would have just shut the game off and not bet it. There's no way the hell I would like.
See, this just goes again. Everything we say. So Australia 6 of 13 from 2, not bad at all. 2 of 18 from 3. Stop shooting threes, and just stop. I've never seen so many people 0-4.
Press them. I would press. I'd full court that shiznizzle. I'd force them to drive by me because they seem like they can't. They want to shoot threes. So Australia, if I'm Australia, I come out and I man up on them.
I don't know if you can press in international basketball.
Half court, then I'll jam them at half court. Serious.
I
don't know why you would watch it to begin with. To be honest, it's just like I can't watch. I can't look.
Oh,
look.
Hold on, King. Let's not. We're missing something here. Oliver baited us. He baited us because there's a final, USA versus France today, also. So it's at 7 o'clock tonight. So for those of you that are really looking for some basketball, I would suggest you start with the USA France final at 7 o'clock, I believe. It says noon, but it also says 7. I can't figure out time zones, but I think it's 7. And then when you get disgusted by that, turn on the NBA Finals and see how basketball is supposed to look.
Or just take a big dump and then watch the finals. Because it's going to be more satisfying than actually watching that game. Like, that's my opinion about these Euro games. Like, I don't know why we're watching people that can't play basketball.
It's the Basketball World Cup, U19. I don't know what U19 means. And I don't even know who's on the I don't even know who's on the US team. Do we know?
Why would you? When did you find out that there was Euro games today? Just now. Now.
Well,
so how the hell would you know?
Thanks to Oliver.
Kids over here asking us Wimbledon men's singles picks.
Oh, the Italian guy. That's what Jesse said. All right, Mike. So this is the U.S. team. Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
Jaden Ivey.
Yep.
Kenneth Lofton Jr.
Yep.
Michael Miles.
Yep.
Adam Miller.
Nice.
Oh, actually, this game is in progress right now. Another question for Oliver: Where do you live? Because if the finals are on, USA versus France, and you're trying to bet Australia Turkey, either do you have an angle, or do you not live in are you from Australia?
He wrote, is that the guy that you like in tennis?
What's his name?
Matteo, Matteo, Matteo.
Is he
That's definitely an Italian name.
gotta be? Yeah, I believe so. Let me check for what Jesse said, but I believe that's right.
We do have brother Jesse, who between him, Stu, and even brother Ray could do tennis. They know enough about tennis. They watch all these events. I played it, but never bothered to watch it because, again, first of all, I'm not going to watch Wimbledon. I'm just not going to watch people play tennis. I'm not going to watch subpar basketball.
He says Berrettini is going to upset Djokovic. So Berrettini is your guy.
How many days ago was that?
Last night.
No.
It's supposed to be today. So Berrettini, Oliver. Imagine that.
Dude, all right, here's my question. Is he just putting question marks after everything he says? Or is he asking us if he's in Canada?
I hope not, because I assume he would know better than us.
But why is the question mark after Canada? Like Canada? Like that's what he's saying is Canada?
I don't even know if I cannot believe I'm on the FIBA basketball side.
I don't know why you would do that to yourself.
It brackets. See, now it's 4-4 USA France, by the way. So I was wrong about watching it tonight. If you want to watch that game, you got to get on ESPN Plus right now.
Oh yeah, God.
Yeah, Canada.
Do that.
Oh, Canada's playing Serbia. Oh no, Canada beat Serbia for third place.
All right, what's going on with the Australia game?
USA knocked out Canada. USA knocked out Canada yesterday, and they're playing France for the championship right now.
Shocker! Now, shocker. But what's going on with Australia versus Turkey?
You know what's even crazier? I don't even know what bracket they're in. Australia, Turkey. Where the hell?
Imagine you're betting on Australia versus Turkey.
Games.
Oliver, I'm going to say you might have a betting problem. Like, if you're going to bet on two turtles racing, bud, you got to pull it back a little bit. You know, save it for like real sports, like the NBA, Major League Baseball, football, stuff like that, college football.
Okay, so here's what I can find. It says Australia, Turkey, game number 52, class 9-10. Are they playing for 9th and 10th place, or is it actually a whole different, like are they lower than the rest of the tournament? Like, what is class 9-10?
I don't know what it means, but I'll tell you this. I could just tell you that they're both horrible teams. Horrible teams. They're probably playing for like last place. I would believe that. And when you play tournaments like that and you get blown out your first two games and you have to play that third game, that sucks. That sucks. Because I've done AAU tournaments where we lost the first two and you have to play that third game and your team doesn't want to play at all. They just got blown out. So now they're playing another sucky team to see who's the better of the sucky teams, and nobody ever really wants to do that.
Yeah.
That's 24-24.
Well, actually, we talked through the half. It's 28-26 Turkey, and at this pace, I don't think you want to be down by 2. I don't know how you make up 2 points in this game.
Right?
Australia's in trouble.
24 points. That's 12 points a quarter. Imagine 12 points a quarter. So the game's on pace for 48-48 final. Why would you watch that? I feel like Goodfellas. Why would you do that, Karen? That's all the money we had.
We needed that. We needed that. They were gonna find it. They weren't gonna find it.
You think I'm gonna put up an evidence on the case? Yeah. We'll come home and get whacked from you.
I'm still gonna go out. Not without your keys, you're not. Like right out the window.
Karen, stop it.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
What's great is that no one will ever say that it's linked, but the whole Karen craze, you can't tell me that not hearing him scream that name in that movie didn't start something.
I hope
Karen,
so.
Karen, why would you do that? She's that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. One of my best friends, his wife's name is Karen. We can't get enough of that. I'm like, did you learn how to do it? So I'm like, if I married someone named Karen, I would learn how to do it. Like, just be able to scream at her, Karen. You know.
Look at my poor mom. Bye, Felicia. Right? My mom's had that name forever. And then Ice Cube says it in the movie Friday, and then like 10 years later it becomes like a catchphrase. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oliver's got a real question. How do you stop gambling? By winning. Win enough, then stop.
By the way, he wrote, I do have a problem. I hit last night, doctor stoppage on the Conor fight.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that's Matt. And it's been Matt the whole time. There's no way that's not Matt. Right? Because that's Matt telling us, again, that he never left. He's Oliver North. And he hit the game. He hit last night because Conor broke his leg.
Well, at least he kind of played the long way around, so I'll give him credit for that.
No, I think it was him the whole time. I knew.
I know. He went through all this other stuff. I don't know if the fact that he knows Turkey and Australia are playing. I'll give him credit there.
Yeah, or he could have joined the show. You know, he could have actually came on the show as opposed to like giving us these like riddles about the worst basketball in the world.
Which,
right?
I'm not going to follow this. Oh,
I don't.
31-28 Turkey. Turkey drained a 3.
Kev, can you call it drained?
So
let's just give a quick update about tonight. Tonight it's 7:00. It's Legit Paranormal. It's our first show from being back from the Bigfoot Con. We have Jack Hanna on. Buddy did a write-up on him that I won't read because it's so long. Like, either this guy has done all this stuff or Buddy just loves this guy so much that he wrote like on and on and on. So we're walking into somebody who has a lot of experience. He's a professor. I don't know. I got to ask how you become a professor in paranormal. Like, I got to ask, how do you become one that's legit and can teach in college paranormal? How is paranormal? And then what was it? Cryptozoology? How would they're actually legitimate like degrees?
I don't know if cryptozoology actually has a degree, like if there's a program out of college. I don't think that's the case. I don't think paranormal is either. So it's going to be very, very interesting. We're going to check his credentials. I will check his credentials before the show.
I'm just thinking if they really do have these in schools, we should just get the degrees.
Well, I would want to teach. I mean, I think we know enough to teach.
That's what I'm saying. It's getting kind of scary. But so that's gonna be a great show tonight. Make sure you do stop in. You know, I know we're getting sloppy here, but it's a Sunday morning. We're doing basketball for you. We did all of this for you. So we're talking about FIBA, and I can't believe I just said that out loud. FIBA.
Exactly.
I didn't even know FIBA existed. How about that? That's how oblivious I am to this old crap.
I didn't either.
FIBA.
And I don't even like that. I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like anything about it. So for those, we're going to sign off in a second. But for those of you that, oh my God, Turkey's up by 9. Australia will never make this back.
No, it's over now. 9's like a whole half.
37-28. Wow. Sorry about. Well, who knows? Who knows? Anyway,
you can't hold me for like picking a team that I don't even know the teams. Yeah. Stay with Milwaukee today. Give them the points and take the over.
Say Milwaukee in the over tonight if you can tease it. Maybe do a little of that. There is the Wimbledon final. Betterini is your guy there. Italy, England for the Euro Cup championship. Don't look at anything. Just bet Italy. If they lose, you just got to complain like every other Italian will. So you really can't lose that bet. And I think that's it. And, tomorrow night we'll be on. Hopefully all 4 of us, the full contingent. Hopefully Brother Ray will be able to join, and Coach TJ. He's pretty much a lock on Monday nights. We'll review Game 3. With that, we're going to wrap it up here. This is the Genius, King Michael, also known as Mr. Plymouth Rock. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm going to go enjoy the day. It's nice out. It's got like a nice well, it's not nice out. It's sticky. It's that humid thing, but it's not too hot for me. So I can get things done that I need to get done. Basic stuff. Play with the dog. Enjoy life, Kevin. Right? Why not?
Why not? It is a Sunday. All right. For the Genius, for King Michael. Actually, I am the Genius, so I don't say for the Genius. For myself and King Michael, we are wrapping it up. We'll talk to you all tomorrow.
See you tonight.